Hi, I'm Enzo Carter with Enzo Science. Today we'll be looking at my collection of radioactive items. These include a clock coated in radium, raw uranium ore, fiestaware, a uranium glass teacup, and some bonus items which we'll get to later. Please enjoy. Before we begin, in this video I will be handling items that are known to give off ionizing radiation. I use gloves when handling these samples, and I will wash my hands after I'm done with handling the samples. Please do not try this at home. This is a clock whose handles have been coated in radium. The reason for this is because radium glows in the dark, and this was commonly used on airplane instruments. Now I'll show you what it looks like in the dark. This is a Geiger counter. It has a sensor in it that detects ionizing radiation, and we're going to use it on the radium clock to see how radioactive it is. It's going to take a second for it to boot up. Alright, I think it's all done. Now, I'm going to move it away from the other stuff, because the other stuff will contribute some radiation to this one. So this way we can keep this a little more scientific. Alright, it should be almost done. Yeah, it's about done. So it's about 3,000 CPM, 8.2 millisieverts. The next object we'll be talking about is this. This is a rock found in New Mexico. That's a video I might link in the description. And it contains uranium ore. And I noticed it's sort of in the shape of a face, which is how I noticed it. It's actually fairly radioactive. I'll grab the Geiger counter now. Here's the Geiger counter. Now you can see it's not really going up very fast. That's because it's inside of a plastic case to make sure dust doesn't get everywhere. I'm going to take it out of the case now, but this is fairly dangerous. Alright, here's the case taken apart, and here's it in my hand with the glove on. And now I'll grab the Geiger counter. As you might have noticed, it's going up significantly faster than previously. This is due to the fact that without the casing, there's nothing blocking the radiation from hitting the sensor, meaning it's already skyrocketing. I'm sure you've heard enough of this. I'll move on to the next item now. Next thing I have is my tea set where the tea never actually gets cold. This plate and cup are made of uranium glass, which is glass with some uranium in it, which makes it that green color. And this red is fiestaware, which is extremely radioactive uranium paint. This is much more radioactive than this, as this still has to be transparent, so it's very little material goes into the coating, where this has a lot of material go into the coating. I'll show you the difference now. Let me move this away in order to avoid mix-ups between the two amounts. Now, uranium mostly gives off alpha radiation, which doesn't travel very far. I talked about the different types of radiation in another video, which I'll probably link below or above. You notice it's like barely clicking when I'm putting it right on it. And the glass isn't much more dangerous. Yeah, so it's about 1,500. Now, after I move the glass and it's actually facing more towards this, it's clicking much more rapidly. So this This Fiesta ware is a very thick coating of uranium. That's why it's that intense red color, but it comes at a price. Now, technically, this Fiesta ware is actually safe to drink out of as long as it doesn't break. Technically. Now, I don't want to do that science experiment right now.
As you can see, it's quickly going very high, up to 60 millisieverts. Last time I measured this, it was about 30,000 ppm, which is pretty high. ppm stands for counts per minute. Oh wow, it's closing now. Right.
Now, in the intro, I said I might talk about some bonus items, which are not any of these four. These are some actual, like, you have to license sources for radio stuff. This is just stuff that just happened to be radioactive because of some side benefit. Now, to go see the other stuff, we're going to have to move to the garage. All right, this is the garage. This is where we keep the really dangerous stuff. It's in this little area. This is some cesium-137. Very, very not safe. That is beryllium, which I don't even want to get near. And this is some polonium-210, which is safely sealed away in some gold. So here's are the serious sources. Let me open them up and show you them one at a time. This source I got from Spectrum Technologies from the, what is it called? I think it's just Spectrum Technologies. Yeah, from Oak Ridge. And it's a small puck. And this side isn't actually too dangerous because cesium is mostly beta, which can be blocked by some stuff. It penetrates more than alpha, but not quite as much more. As you can see here, from this side, it's pretty radioactive, but not even as radioactive as the Fiesta ware. Now, when I turn it over, this is where the fun begins. I'm going to step back, because it's almost like a beam of something you don't want to be in. So you see the little light blue color in the center there is the part with the actual cesium. Now let's put the Geiger counter on it. Let's start from a little farther away, and we're going to slowly move in. Yeah, I'm going to say it's a little more radioactive than the Fiesta ware. I think last time I checked this, it maxed out at around 60,000.
I was wrong.
Okay, so it looked like it maxed out around 107 CPM. That's scary. Now let me flip this back over. Now this isn't like immediate death or anything, but it's still not something I want to play with. I don't play with this very often. Now, let's go put this back in the safety drawer. This is a sample of polonium-210. The actual polonium-210 element is inside of that gold part. It's sort of like combined in order to be safer. And as you can see here, it's an anti-static, because alpha particles, basically, they'll rip an electron off the nearest thing to become just simple helium, which is what's happening right now. We just can't see it. It's taking it out of the nitrogen and oxygen from the air. So we have Geiger counter. Now, this pancake probe is really good at detecting alpha particles, which is the main thing this gives off. Now, the reason it's not going like too crazy over this thing is because of the air gap. The air gap basically makes this not very radioactive. And also, polonium-210 has a very short half-life, and I've had this sample for a while, so it's not exactly as dangerous as it usually would be. Polonium-210 is also one of the key substances that can be found inside of cigarettes, which is one of the key reasons why people get lung cancer from them. Alright, I think that's all the stuff I have to show you today. please consider subscribing, and have a good one.